Evan, what do we have down here?
Pomegranate.
Pomegranates. What happened to these pomegranates?
Split open.
They all split open. Are we still gonna eat them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still pretty yummy, huh? Hi, Cameron here on the Busy Gardener channel. I came out to the orchard today and I found this split pomegranate. Now there are a number of them that are split wide open. We're gonna take a look today to what some of the causes are, how to prevent it, and what we can do to make sure that our pomegranates stay closed until we're ready to harvest. Let's get busy. So pomegranate is one of those fruit that is not a big cash crop. There's not a ton of research on that in the US, in the same way that there are for apple or some of these stone fruit and things like that. But for me, especially culturally, I'm half Persian, and the pomegranate actually originated from Persia, which is now Iran. And so kind of by default, I have a couple of pomegranate here in the backyard orchard. I've got a really successful one in the front yard. Here's a Parfianca pomegranate. There's a a wonderful pomegranate, which is the main one that you'll find, the commercially produced one. And in the front, I've got a sweet pomegranate. So it's awfully disappointing when I come out and see that a bunch of fruit is split. Now, if you've had this sort of thing, a lot of it has to do with watering. If you're overwatering pomegranate, and this is true actually with a lot of different fruit, overwatering pomegranate or irregularly watering pomegranate, I've seen this happen with citrus too, can cause splitting. And part of the reason for that is that there's a fungus that can cause splitting in that fruit. So one of the ways that you can avoid that is when the blooms are coming on, that is getting adequate, regular watering. When the heat is really picking up, to increase the amount that you're watering. And I increased watering up in the orchard overall to 2 to 3 times per week. When we were seeing temperatures of over 100 degrees, 105, 108 degrees. One of the things that I should have done, but I didn't do, is that as the temperatures started coming down and were not in those 105, 110 degree days, when it was down in the 80s and very low 90s, I should have tapered off to that just 2 days a week or even 1 day a week of watering. One problem is I currently have my entire orchard on a single zone, and I'm splitting that up into 3 zones. I ran the tubing to make that make sense. Citrus is gonna be on one, citrus and subtropicals, and then it's gonna be separate from all the deciduous stuff. So should have brought those down to maybe just 2 days of watering as the temperatures came down, so that way it wasn't overwatering. Another thing I'm gonna do is when everything is dormant this year, I'm going to go through here and spray everything with a copper spray. I'd done that on some of the other deciduous stuff like the apples and the stone fruit, but I didn't do it on the pomegranates. I'm going to do that this year to make sure that any fungus is taken care of during that overwintering stuff and overwintering time. So as I have this fruit here and I taste some of it, it's just the color's kind of there, but it's still just not quite ready to go. I tasted a few of them, still a little bit tangy, not as sweet as these can be. Thankfully the seeds are also really mellow. So what am I supposed to do this year? Is this entirely a wasted crop? Well, it turns out that when the fruit starts splitting, especially on a pomegranate like this, it's time to just go on and just pick all the ones that are split and keep a close eye on those that are not. If they start splitting, it's time to pick them and eat them. Kiddo, what do you have there?
Pomegranate.
Do you know what kind those are? Parfianca. This is going to be the test. These are the ones that split open, and I'm going to see if you try it. All right, eat them up and tell me what you think. Are they good? Are they too sweet or not sweet enough or sour or what are they?
They're sweet.
They're sweet, so good, huh? Eat it. Is it good?
I want some.
Is it yummy? Evan, what do you think? Taste it. Good? What happened?
It got too sour.
Oh, too sour, huh? Well, maybe getting them early. I guess maybe it's just frustrating to have to pick them earlier than I want to or eat them when I want to, but the taste is there. Taste test, kid approved. What is it? Kid tested, mother approved? I don't know what it is. Anyway. So the reality is that while some of these are not ready at all, in looking, some of them actually are fairly ripe, and at least color-wise look like they ought to be ready to go. So it kind of runs the gamut from some of these that still have some white and not fully developed arils versus those that do have that pretty deep color. Now, thankfully the splitting has not happened on our wonderful pomegranate. It's only happened on the Parfianca so far. And so that's a bit of good news. That's what's going on. Such a disappointment to come out and see split fruit. But that's kind of the thing about being a backyard guy, is trial and error. My livelihood doesn't depend on, you know, my pomegranates putting out excellent fruit. It's just kind of a bummer. It means we're gonna have to pick some fruit that isn't quite ready to go. Hope this helped. Thanks for stopping by, and if there's anything else that we can answer for you, put it down in the comments below. Thanks so much.